Interested people watch obsessed people change the world. Kobe Bryant was not interested in winning championships. He was obsessed.
The mindset of Kobe, how different was his from everybody else?
It was alien-like. Kobe was a beast. Nobody worked harder than him. When he was 18, he used to be in the locker room dribbling and shooting without the ball for hours.
I look at Kobe Bryant as that guy that is the best, one of the best in our league. Every time when I'm not playing, if the Lakers on TV, I'm watching him. I'm watching him. I'm trying to learn from him and see how he may be attacking this certain team that he's playing.
He took me out to eat, and I said, "What you getting ready to do?" "I'm going to the club." And he said, "I'm going to the gym." And that was him.
I had a purpose. I wanted to be one of the best basketball players to ever play. And anything else that was outside of that lane, I didn't have time for.
You set goals?
Always.
Always?
Always. When you're young, you really don't understand what goals are. You just say, okay, I want to get this move down pat. So you work on getting that move down pat, and then you work on another one. Then you have a goal of dunking, then making your high school team. So you just kind of set goals as you go on. Then you might go to a basketball camp and you hear people talking about goals, and you kind of say, hey, well, I've been doing that all along. Maybe that is going to help me in the long run. So then you start setting some more goals. So once you accomplish that, you knock it down and keep moving on.
What does losing feel like to you?
It's exciting.
Why is it exciting?
Because it means you have different ways to get better. There's certain things that you can figure out that you can take advantage of, right? Certain weaknesses that were exposed.
My name is Kobe Bryant. I'm 17 years old. I wasn't invited to parties or friendly gatherings on the weekend. So on Fridays and Saturdays, I would go in my rec room with my basketball and basically dribble myself to sleep.
Everything was done to try to learn how to become a better basketball player. Everything. And so when you have that point of view, then literally the world becomes your library to help you to become better at your craft.
I've always said that I wanted to be remembered as a player that didn't waste a moment. Welcome to the Kobe Show, take 2. Didn't waste a day. So if I could be remembered as a person that was born with a lot of talent, but did everything he could to try to overachieve, I think that's a very powerful message to have. It's something that hopefully the players that are now and players that'll come later choose to embody as well.
You happy with your game?
No, I'm never happy. Never happy. There's always little things that you can do better, so you really have to keep on improving yourself on a daily basis. Keep trying to learn something new.
The consistency of work. Monday, get better. Tuesday, get better. Wednesday, get better, right? And you do that over a period of time, not like 1 month or 2 months. I mean, it's 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 years, and then you can get to where you want to go.
One of your high school friends said, when I was partying, he was playing basketball. When I was waking up, Kobe was playing basketball before class. How would you describe your dedication to the sport even back then?
Well, I tried to find a balance, right? I tried to do both. I had a great deal of energy. So if there was a school party going on or something like that, I'd play basketball for a few hours. I'd do what I have to do and have fun doing it. And then I'd go to the party and I'd show up and I'd have a good time, have fun, and I'd be up at 5 o'clock in the morning, working out and training the next day. So this obviously, a great amount of sacrifice because it is time consuming and you do have to really focus on your craft a great deal.
I think I realized I was a little different. My first year in the league, when I was very serious about the game at all times. Whether it was a shoot around, whether it was a light practice, whether it was on the plane, whether it was at, in the hotel on the road. I would study the game. I would think about our opponents, what we're going to do the next practice, what we're going to do the next game. Not every player was doing that.
The hardest thing with him was getting him to stop.
Yeah, okay, take a break, rest.
Yes.
Take the day off.
That was the most challenging thing with him because over all the years that he had his success, it was about go, go, go. And then when I came on, I was the complete icicle. I got to get you to stop.
I do know on the road, most of the time he spends it in his room, and most of the time he asks us for the tape of the game we played the night before the opponent we're playing the next night. And he has a VCR and he sets it up. And he watches games.
So many guys tell stories about your work ethic.
Yeah.
What was really your work ethic like, and for how long did you stay disciplined?
Well, I mean, every day. I mean, since for 20 years. I mean, it was an everyday process, and trying to figure out strengths and weaknesses. For example, jumping ability. Man, my vertical was a 40, it wasn't a 46 or a 45. My hands are big, but they're not massive, right? So you got to figure out ways to strengthen them, so your hands are strong enough to be able to palm a ball and do the things that you need to do. Quickness, I was quick, but not insanely quick. I was fast, but not ridiculously fast, right? So I had to rely on skill a lot more. I had to rely on angles a lot more. I had to study the game a lot more. But I enjoyed it though. So like from the time I can remember when I started watching the game, I studied the game, and it just never changed.
I'm gonna ask you a crazy question. After we split apart, were you trying to get more championships than me?
Oh, absolutely.
You were?
Absolutely. And I knew you were going to get one. I knew you were going to get one because of the energy, going into Miami and D-Wade and everything that was there. I knew you were going to get that one. So I knew I had to get at least 2 or 3. I wanted you to get that because I needed that. I wanted that. Like I wanted people to say, see, this is what they're missing here. This is what they gave up for, right? Kobe should have been the one to go. Now he's in Miami. I needed that. I wanted that. I wanted everybody to hate me. I wanted to fuel off of that and just come back with so much anger and so much vengeance. So I wanted that. So when you won, right after you won, I went out to the track and I ran. And I did my conditioning, I did my drills. I woke up the next morning, I hit my weights, I did my 1,000 shots, I did everything humanly possible to get myself ready. But I needed it. I was like, all right, yeah, good.
The lesson I cherish the most is how important it is to love what you do. If you love what you do and it's making you happy, all the hard work and perseverance will pay off. When you know you're truly giving it your all, there's no greater feeling in the world.
I think a lot of times, when we're born into this world, we actually wind up going backwards. And it seems like the more we mature, the more responsible our dreams become. And the more governors we put on ourselves and our ability to dream and to reimagine. And it's always a fight for us parents and for you guys to make sure that your dreams always stay pure. And so it's not a matter of pushing beyond your limitations or expectations. It's really a matter of protecting your dreams, protecting your imagination. That's really the key. And when you do that, then the world just seems limitless.
It's a great feeling to know that you set a goal for yourself and you were able to reach that goal and to knock it down.
There's a quote from one of my English teachers at Lower Merion named Mr. Fisk. He had a great quote that said, rest at the end, not in the middle. And that's something I always live by. I'm not gonna rest now, I'm gonna keep on pushing now. There are a lot of answers that I don't have, even questions that I don't have. But I'm just gonna keep going. I'm just gonna keep going, and I'll figure these things out as we go, right? And you just continue to build that way. So I try to live by that all the time.
If I just played a great basketball game, had 40 points or whatever, I'm getting all this positive feedback from people who are at the game. My head's swelling up and everything. My parents would be the first people to tell me, hey, look, you played a great game, but there's no need for your head to get all big. There's no need for you to get cocky and think that the world owes you something.
Did you see anybody you played with that eventually developed that killer instinct?
Yeah, his name was Kobe Bryant. Because when he first came in, his first 2 years, he was an NBA player, but it's not to that second, third year that he became Kobe Bryant.
During those lonely hours in the rec room, I discovered the hunger, the motivation, and the desire to be the best possible basketball player that I could be. And here I am today.
It's an obsessiveness that comes along with it. You want things to be as perfect as they can be, understanding that nothing is ever perfect. But the challenge is try to get them as perfect as they can be. And what can you do? It's in your control. So control what you can. You're afraid that if you put your heart and soul into it and you fail, then how are you going to feel about yourself, right? So being fearless means putting yourself out there and going for it. No matter what, go for it. Not for anybody else, but for yourself. Go after your dreams, right? Go after it. I never compromised that. I never allowed anybody to tell me what I was capable of accomplishing. I never let anybody tell me that I can't do, right? I went after it. If you want to accomplish something or do something that a lot of people think is difficult to accomplish, you have to put all your eggs in one basket. And there's no compromise.
I once had a guidance counselor tell me that I shouldn't play basketball, that it would never amount to anything for me. And you know what? Much to your surprise, I took that counselor's advice. I took it
and I used it to be the best basketball player I could be. His negativity towards me made me stronger. You can't stop people from trying to limit your dreams, but you can stop it from becoming a reality. Your dreams are up to you. I encourage you to always be curious, always seek out things you love, and always work hard once you find it.